Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. The text arrived while I was standing in the cereal aisle, staring at two identical boxes like the choice might explain why my chest had felt tight for weeks. Don't wait up tonight. Might grab a drink with someone new. There was a winking emoji at the end. That was the part that hurt the most, the playfulness. Like whatever was happening between us had already become a joke. I read it 3 times, hoping I'd misunderstood the tone. My first instinct was to blame myself. I'd been working late. I'd forgotten to fix the kitchen light. I'd started answering her stories with distracted nods instead of real attention. Marriages don't break in one moment, I told myself. They erode quietly. Still, my hands trembled enough that I put the cereal back on the wrong shelf and walked out of the store without buying anything. The party was 2 nights later. Her coworker's birthday. Loud music, too many people packed into a living room that smelled like perfume and beer. I almost didn't go, but she'd insisted, too brightly. Come on, she'd said. It'll be fun. We never go anywhere together anymore. That together sounded rehearsed. I spent most of the night near the wall, holding the same warm drink. She moved easily through the crowd, laughing in that open way that used to feel like sunlight meant only for me. Every so often she'd glance in my direction, quick and unreadable, like checking whether I was still there. Then it happened. Someone asked, half joking, what she'd do if she were single again. She smiled, tilted her head. Took just long enough to answer that the room leaned in. Oh, I don't know, she said lightly. Maybe I'd finally date someone exciting. Laughter. A few whistles. And what about him? Someone added, gesturing toward me. She didn't even look over. He'd be fine, she said. He's used to being alone. More laughter. Louder this time. I felt something inside me go very still. Not anger. Not yet. Just a quiet, spreading emptiness, like sound disappearing underwater. She finally glanced at me then, maybe expecting a smile, a playful comeback. The version of me who used to perform being okay. Instead, I set my drink on the table and walked toward the door. No scene. No goodbye. Just the soft click of it closing behind me. The drive home blurred past red lights and dark storefronts. My mind kept replaying her words, searching for the harmless meaning hidden underneath. We tease the people we love, I reminded myself. Couples joke. Maybe I was being sensitive. But another voice, quieter, older, kept asking why the joke felt so practiced. When I got home, the apartment felt unfamiliar. Too tidy. Too quiet. I noticed small things I'd ignored before. How often her phone buzzed late at night. How quickly she angled the screen away. How her stories about work had grown detailed in the wrong places and vague in the important ones. I sat on the edge of the bed and tried to remember the last time she touched me without distraction. I couldn't. She came home after midnight, smelling like citrus and someone else's cologne buried underneath. You left, she said like I'd broken a rule. You said I'd be fine alone, I answered. A pause. Not shocked, just inconvenienced. It was a joke. Was it? Her eyes hardened slightly, the way they did when a conversation threatened to become real. You're overthinking again. Maybe I was. I wanted to be wrong so badly it almost hurt more than the truth. So I asked the question I'd been avoiding for weeks. Is there someone else? Silence filled the room, thick and undeniable. Not outrage. Not confusion. Just silence. And in that silence I understood. She sat down slowly, like the weight of honesty had finally reached her. I didn't plan for it, she said. It just happened. He listens. He notices things. Each word landed softly, carefully chosen to sound gentle instead of cruel. I used to, I said. Her face flinched. Guilt maybe. Or memory. I never wanted to hurt you. But she already had. Not in one dramatic moment. Just in 1,000 small distances I'd tried not to see. I realized then that the party joke hadn't been careless. It had been rehearsal. A way to step into a future where I was already gone. We talked until the sky turned gray. About when things started changing. About the nights we chose phones over conversations. About how love can fade not with hatred but with neglect. No villains. Just 2 tired people holding the remains of something that used to feel permanent. When the words ran out, we sat in silence. The kind that doesn't ask to be fixed. I'm sorry, she whispered. I believed her. and somehow that made it easier to let go. A week later, I carried the last box to my car. The apartment echoed behind me, stripped of shared history. I expected to feel broken. Instead, there was only a quiet ache, and beneath it something steadier. Self-respect, maybe. Or the fragile beginning of peace. As I drove away, my phone buzzed once on the passenger seat. Her name on the screen. I let it ring until it stopped. Not out of anger, but because for the first time in a long while, turning away didn't feel like losing. It felt like choosing myself.